Hey there, everyone. It's Eternal Snowman. I'm going to be covering the TLT power rankings, and I'm going to be joined by two guests. If you want to introduce
Hello,
yourself.
it's Luthier.
Okay. And
Plaza's
Plaz.
dead, so
All right. You know what? Plaz, are you there?
think she said I don't know.
Okay.
Am
Sure.
I here?
Yeah, you're fucking
Yeah,
here.
you're here.
Neutral. Okay. So we're going to be looking at the TLT thread. We'll use this as a basis, but I just want to talk about all the players and what you guys think of every player. We'll mainly focus on the top players and who you think will win and how good they are and that kind of stuff. We'll use the power rankings that Sanjay made just for as a basis because it's easy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So they have Arc and Ham as S rank. So I guess we can talk about Arc first. So I don't personally know that much about Arc. What do you guys think about him? I've heard he's really solid all around.
Yeah. He was like. Sorry. Go ahead. T team. And he's. Well, he wasn't actually. I don't think he was on the team. Anyways, so what team? BLT.
BLT.
Oh, okay. Yeah. A ton. He was like the most recent slam. He was like I think 2 points away from top 16. Mm-hmm. So I think he got to round 2. He got to like round 4 of every single 5 one.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Ridiculous. And he lost to like Blunder, Aim, Cole 49. Like he lost to a bunch of ridiculous players. Yeah. Well, like around 6 or 7 of like.
Well, okay. Actually, yeah. Wait. I should also like talk about this. Like, what do you guys think about like the format of TLT? Because like the TLT format, like Ash earlier said that he thinks that the format is kind of like weird that it's like bow 3 instead of bow 5.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with exactly what Ash said. Like, I think it's completely unfair that each person gets to ban 2 tiers, especially like you can be like somewhat spread out along like different tiers, but once you're banning like 4 tiers, I don't think it's like as fair.
Okay. Well, aside from like aside from personal opinions, what do you guys think about like who would be like the most successful kind of players in this like, because I have like my own personal opinion about like what type of players are like most affected and what type of players are most benefit from this kind of format.
All right. Personally, I think players such as Mysterious M, they're the ones who get bashed by this format. Yeah, he's overall solid player, good fundamentals, everything like that. He also like solely mains in Ubers, and another like example who gets bashed is FMG. Like I know he's like really good at OU, solid at like decently okay at UU, but like when you're going down with other tiers like RU and UU or RU and NU that I don't think he has much meta knowledge about. I don't think he's going to do that well, especially when his opponent's probably going to be banning OU and UU every single time.
Okay, well,
OU against FMG. What's up? Wait, what did you say? No reason not to ban OU against FMG. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because that's like one of his like things he excels in. So you can't like play against players who are like solely good. Like players who are solely good in one tier are absolutely like, yeah, they're just dumb.
Okay, well, first off, I kind of agree with what you're saying, but like the things that I think are the most important. Well, okay, so first off, fundamentals in general, like it's impossible for you to know all 7 tiers, even all 5 tiers. So like if you ban your 2 bans, if you know all 5 tiers at a high level, so fundamentals are extremely important, and I think it's really important if like for the format in general. I kind of realized this, but being able to play doubles at a competent level is like a huge advantage.
Right.
Because most people, no one can play doubles, and it's so different from.
No one can play doubles.
Yeah, like
especially you players.
Like it's actually insane. Like, like going down the list, like only like less than 10% of the actual entire tournament can play dubs. So it draws a ban if you don't know how to play it. which is pretty insane.
Literally, like for doubles, I see you, ESM, apparently MJ is decent, and SMB is
Miyoka
really
is good. Miyoka is good, and then SMB, and like there's a few players who can do it, but not like a ton. And so like it's like yeah,
like,
and
Miyoka's like not he's in like top 8 winner. He just lost.
For what? Hello.
okay. Anyway, so and also another thing that's like I think extremely valuable, personally for me when I'm like ranking these players and looking at them is tour experience. So this is like mainly aimed at toward like the middle and lower ranks because like I think it's extreme.
Like,
Wait, go on.
Plaz is dead.
I have no idea what's wrong with Plaz.
Yeah, same.
I don't know.
Okay, well.
Alright.
Anyway, so like when separating the lower and like middle tier players, like I think it's extremely important that you have tour experience because being able to prep and stuff is like huge, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you were talking about that in the other video about like certain players that usually would not stand like much of a chance or like were neck and neck with their opponents. Either like they always broke away in like who you think is going to win in their tour experience and their ability to prep.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Arc, I think he checks pretty much every single category for what it means to be a good player, and then Ham, I think is very similar. He's placed very well at pretty much all the top level tournaments. Like he went to UUPL. He did well in the opens as well.
Okay.
He was in UUPL, I think.
Yeah, he was in UUPL, and very good at pretty much like the only two. He plays 5 of the tiers at a relatively high level. 5 out of the 7 tiers at a relatively high level. The two
like
being
NU and doubles.
LC and dubs, I think, right?
Oh, he plays NU too.
I think so. I'm pretty sure he does. But yeah, so it's hard to beat him in general.
Yeah, especially with the formatting where you just like can simply ban LC and doubles every single time. He instantly gets like the 3 tiers he's like competent at.
Yeah, so he's very good at like, and he's better than most players at like the specific tiers, even like mains. So, like for example, at Ubers, he's probably better than Perry Vard, even though Perry Vard would be probably considered like an Ubers main.
Right.
So, like he's very strong. So and I'm just gonna go down their rankings, but I'll talk about them. I think Ark and Ham can be generally considered the top 2 players. So personally, I think Trace is the 3rd best player, even though he did like I'm recording this right like on the first day that TLT was dropped. So Trace was defeated by Bdov, but I still think Trace is like the 3rd best player, even though he is in losers right now. I think he has a very strong strong fundamentals, and another thing that is important is that like if you have a tier that like if you have strong fundamentals and you also have a main that someone like draws a ban from, like for example, like if you're the best player at a certain like tier, then you're gonna draw that ban, right? Like for example, Trace is gonna draw a ban in RU no matter who he plays against. He's not gonna be able to play RU because of how strong he is at RU. And Trace's fundamentals are really strong, so I think he's like probably the 3rd best player in my opinion. What do you guys think about Trace?
I said the exact same thing. Although he kind of like is not as good as LC as he was last gen. He's still solid at LC, so I think if I were his opponent, I'd be drawing RU and LC ban every single time. I don't know what Bdov was thinking when she left RU open, but nothing you can do against memes.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
So, yeah.
Or like opinion, or okay, like Plaz, what about you?
Trace. It's Trace. I'd ban. I would ban RU and LC probably. Well, not me personally, but like LC is my team.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Those are the two that I would ban against.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone else in this in TLT that like a better third placer. Like I know some people are think Ominous Draco, but I just don't see that happening.
Like people like if you say
I haven't seen Ominous Draco playing forever.
and like other people saying like Miyoka or something, like the other two people they placed in A+, Miyoka and Mysterious M, I don't think they're like. I think Miyoka has some pretty glaring issues, which is like.
And I also feel that Miyoka and Mysterious M should be lower on the listing.
Yeah, well,
I think
okay.
they should be around A-, to be honest.
Yeah.
Either of them play at all, so I would.
Yeah, but I think Trace overall really solid. Mysterious M, I guess we can talk about him next. I think this is one of the things. He has a wealth of tour experience, being in UPL, being in like pretty big tier, pretty big tournaments all around, and he knows his way around. So I think Mysterious M is definitely very good, and his fundamentals are very strong. But the big thing that I would hold against him is that he doesn't have meta knowledge of lower tiers generally. At least as far as I'm aware.
Does he know any other team?
I don't think he
I
does.
think he only dabbles. I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually play anything other than Ubers. Actually, I heard he was playing, I think, NU or something, or UU. Because I was talking with him sometime, and he said he was just like, he's done with Ubers because of this, like, how bad the meta was, and he, like, wanted to play something else, and so I'm sure he's dabbled, but it is more about meta knowledge, especially with like the tiers changing a lot recently. Like I would consider myself like a pretty decent UU player, but like the meta has changed so much recently that I don't really know what exactly is like meta and stuff.
Yeah, and also like his opponent is an idiot. You're banning like Ubers every single time against MM. So
the only players I think that actually only me and Byron actually should not be like. Could consider not banning Ubers against Mysterious M. So.
Yeah, I agree with her. Yeah, I agree with that.
And then Miyoka.
Byron.
Oh.
Maybe Osh.
Maybe Osh and MJ, but I would still say that they're at like a pretty heavy disadvantage against Mysterious M.
Sure.
All right. Miyoka is the other player. Miyoka's best tier, or like one of his best tiers is PU, which is not in the tournament. It's like he won some big PU tournament, which so for him it was like it's pretty bad that he
slotted in for RU and Snake, but I don't think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't play RU. Yeah, I don't know how he got drafted for Snake, honestly. Like. That was kind of question mark, but...
Was he, like, one, like, the second... I think he was, like, second last pick or something.
Yeah, and I didn't get fucking drafted.
Yeah, it seems like a small level 56, where he just does really well in a bunch of cards.
Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, that's what I've heard, but at the same time, I feel like Miyoka isn't that good at the tiers that he doesn't play. So, like, good at doubles, which is a big plus.
Really good at dubs, yeah.
Pretty good at Ubers, yeah. And then other than that, like I'm not sure. Like I think they can play UU maybe okay, and then apparently they played RU and Snake, but to varying degrees of success, I guess. So who knows?
Right. Just gonna get teams from people that he knows well because he has a bunch of resources.
Yeah, that's also something that's for Miyoka. So I would say Miyoka is still like, I would say probably like a top 5 or definitely a top 8 contender. So like if you look at it like in that kind of system, I think Miyoka is definitely a top 8 contender, and like where between like 3 and 8, I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say probably like personally, I would put Miyoka at like 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah, I put him at 6. Him or her.
I don't know.
As long as he can play, because he's gonna get teams from other people.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of resources. As long as he can play well and like not get hacked.
Especially when you get drafted for big things like Snake, you're going to get resources from wherever.
Yeah. And also, okay, one thing that I do hold against Miyoka is that Um, he has a hard round one matchup against Parivard, and I personally think that Parivard will win against Miyoka, and like personally, even though it's like kind of a meme, like oh it's fucking Parivard, but like I think he's actually like has a pretty good matchup into Miyoka, and I think it's pretty like could be favored for Parivard. So
I feel like what's Miyoka spreads himself out too thin, other than in like other tiers. So
okay, so talking about Parivard, in A rank there is Parivard and Omnis Draco. I think Parivard is very solid. The format really does help him. Pretty good at Ubers and LC, and then as far as I'm aware, he's like very solid at everything else. He just dabbles a lot.
Dabbles in everything.
Yeah, so I think like the general format fits him really well, and I think like against players that don't like that if he bans intelligently and he doesn't run into like Arc or Ham or players that are just straight up better than him, I think he can get really really far, if not like top 3 or
Unless he
something.
doesn't like. Does he go against Miyoka? Unless he doesn't ban Oops or something.
Yeah, I think he can even like he could even go like he could win Ubers against Miyoka. I think they're pretty even in that.
If I were him against Miyoka, I would ban. And I don't know what.
I mean, I would definitely ban Dubs.
Menu.
Dubs, and then probably like RU or something, whatever tier he's bad at. But like against Parivard, if like he definitely has 2 defined strengths in LC and Ubers. So if you do play against him, you should ban those.
Wins LC. Would be an upset. I don't know well enough. I'm an LC guy, but I've played both of them. And seasonal and such. Pari's just. Miyoka, I think. Like, I think Pari's way of being better, I guess.
Yeah.
See, I would say something, but I can't really hear you. So.
Yes.
Unfortunate. Anyway.
I think he's trying to get at that just Parivard's playing style is overall better than Miyoka's.
Yeah, I think Miyoka just plays not to lose.
Yeah, agree. Ominous Draco, World Cup player, although he also played for Team India, so.
Ominous, okay, first off, World Cup, it doesn't count as a tournament, because, like, fuck that. That doesn't mean that much.
Like that.
No, but Omnis Draco is real talk. He's very, very good. Like,
yes.
I would say he's 4th after Trace. 4th or 5th maybe, but like he's.
I'd have him around the same rank as Miyoka. I don't. Yeah, but
I think
I don't think he's 4th.
I would put him like 1 or 2 spots ahead of Miyoka. I think he's like really, really good. Really strong fundamentals. He has the tour experience. He pretty much is like everything that I would want to see, other than like maybe the meta knowledge, which is like the only thing that's questionable about him. And because I don't know how much he's been playing these lower tiers, but as far as I know, he like last time I saw him play at BLT. It was very good. So I have high hopes for him. And
you just bring random shit and catch him off guard.
Yeah. If you're playing against him, ban OU and then just bring random shit and hope it'll.
Random sea crystal bait, because it'll bait in exactly what he.
Yeah, just do what I do. Just like play random teams and then get the other person to flame you for having unsets.
Just stick a random on there, or stick like HP Fire Finny on there or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just okay.
Yeah, so overall I think we've come to like consensus, like these are our top 8 players.
Yeah, it's like a relatively solid top 8. Like, okay, so it's technically 7, and then on top of this, I would probably add, like, I don't know, maybe.
I would add either U, B.
got my chick beat off.
Chill. Anyways, yeah, I'd add ESM to those top 7 to make a 8, or I'd add SMB just because of both of their meta knowledge overall.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of SMB, another doubles player. Once again, doubles extremely useful.
Yep.
Also, SMB is another player who it's like you have to ban doubles against them because not even that other players don't know, but SMB is going to be the best doubles player at the tournament. So
and RU, right? He's pretty good at RU from what I understand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like Dubs, RU, OU.
Yeah, and OU. Yeah, I've seen him play OU as well. So
is he good at OU? I've never seen him play OU.
Yeah, I've seen him. As far as I would know, he's pretty good at OU as well.
Damn.
I've never seen him play Ubers or any in my life, but.
Yeah. Well, like the thing is, SMB did win. Like, another thing is like, I know it's not an accurate measure, but like if someone has won a leaderboard like multiple times before, it means that they probably know like at least the basis for most tiers. So for SMB, I'm mainly referencing for SMB and then like some players later on, like over Dragoon and Hell Rayquaza.
Right.
They are like very much that they have the fundamentals down at least because they can win those like tournament cycles. Mohician, whatever.
I think it's Mohican or something.
Mohican?
I think Side spelled it wrong. I think Side spelled it wrong.
Okay, well, I have no idea who this guy is, honestly. What about you guys?
Same thing. Like, I was in chat, and like with the, I thought I was gonna play this guy, and then apparently he's really good. But I visited his like profile, and he has literally nothing on there. I'm pretty sure he's like, I think he like dipped from Mons and then came back, but.
Plaz, what about? Do you know anything?
See him playing random tours. He like knows like.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, from what I understand, he's strong fundamentals. I've heard a lot of praise from him. From what I understand, he's mostly an HO player. I don't know why he's ranked so high, honestly, because
I agree.
Pretty much generally everyone else that's ranked this high has like big tour wins or similar. So yeah, I honestly don't really know why he's ranked that high.
I agree.
Pradhan, he is primarily an OU player, so the main question mark going in is his meta knowledge and of other tiers. I know he's a really strong fundamentals player. I kind of agree with this ranking. Maybe a little bit lower, but he's definitely a strong player, mainly just OU though, and I think his fundamentals are the thing that will carry him hardest.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty sound analysis.
So I assume he has to know.
Wait, what?
What? I didn't hear what you said.
He's got a TC badge, so I assume he knows.
Yeah, he got his TC badge like a month ago.
He ladders a lot with random.
Yeah, he's like a ladder god actually. Like he at one point I remember in Oras he held like 3 or something top 10 positions across different ladders or something like that.
Jesus.
And he also didn't he almost qualify for OLT? Like I remember seeing him on the leaderboards for one of the cycles on OLT, like almost maybe qualified.
Sand almost did, and then he choked.
Rip Sand, yeah. But Pradhan, I remember, I think he almost qualified for an OLT spot.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I don't know that.
And then it's myself. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Alright, do you mind if I talk, or do you want to go for it, Plaz? Okay, he's dead. I'm going to talk anyways. Alright, basically, ESM, we all know he's good at Ubers, and I'm pretty sure everyone is going to be banning Ubers against you. So it comes into question what else they would ban, and since we have like basically decided that you're like a competent doubles player and you're better than most people here, I'll be banning doubles as well. So you're left with the five mid tiers. So and then it becomes what you choose to ban. And so that's usually going to be, from what I understand, like RU.
I'm pretty much banning RU for like every game, and then depending on the matchup is the other one generally. Well,
Yeah.
I'll see.
So then you're left with OU, UU, and like LC or NU, right?
Yeah.
So like you're a pretty sound OU player. I've seen you play NU, which you're pretty good. I just don't know if if you play against someone who's like even more solid than you, but then that it's just basically, I think it's just matchup. If you get to someone like as we listed in the top 4, then it could be a problem. Top 8 or like spots 5 through 7, as like we listed before, I think it'd be a matchup. So I think you're in a pretty like solid place. Like I agree heavily with your aim. I just want to see how everything pans out.
I bring Wishy-Washy to NU against Smash.
Dude, Wishy-Washy is fantastic in NU. Don't bash it.
He's gonna bring Wishy-Washy and lose.
No. You don't understand. Wishy-Washy, dude, it's so good.
He's gonna bring it to OU.
It's broken in PU.
Alright,
I don't play PU.
Who doesn't play PU?
If you were on this, that would be an insta-ban.
Okay, anyway, Byron the Well. Pretty similar to Mysterious M, actually, but I think his fundamentals are a little bit worse. Not very much, but a little bit worse. Also, comes into question about tour experience. Mysterious M has a lot more. So I think he's, like, pretty rightfully ranked. I think he's pretty much just, like, Mysterious M, but, like, a little bit worse.
Playing RU super well.
I actually, like, for me, I feel like Byron the Well. Oh, sorry.
He's top 4 in, I don't remember, I think it's like RU season or something. But
he's top 4 in something, and I have no idea what you said after that.
Okay, yeah. For me, Byron the Well, I think he's ranked a bit too high. I just feel that he spreads out, like, too thin. Like, he's good at Ubers, but I don't think he's gonna do that well in other tiers. Although he has like sound fundamentals, I don't know how far that's gonna take him. And I definitely am gonna pick Arc to beat Byron the Well in week 1.
Yeah, okay, that's one thing you can definitely hold against Byron. He did draw Arc, which we said earlier he's probably best, if not the second, if not the best, then definitely top 2. Yeah, so
that's a horrible round 1 draw.
Yeah, it's really bad, and so Byron, unfortunate. The next one, Osh.
You don't know.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say it straight. Osh, I honestly feel like is ranked too high because, this format is just really bad for him. I think he's a fantastic Ubers and LC player, and he's easily. I think he's probably could be the best LC player. I don't think there's like a clear best, but I think he's definitely.
Right here, dude.
Stop.
Yeah, I think he's one of, if not the best. But
yes, I agree.
Like definitely the top. So, and also Ubers, he's top like 5 or whatever at the tournament for sure.
Right.
The big problem with
the
problem with Osh is that if you just ban those tiers, his general knowledge of the rest of the tiers is like pretty bad, or like average to bad, and so
I agree.
Other than OU, he's actually like pretty solid at OU, but like it's really hard to get far in this tournament because I think like while he's better than a lot of the players still, like I would say like still move him down a little bit, but like not by that much. While he's still good, but it's just like when comparing to the top 8, top 10, maybe even top 16, it just seems like he's outmatched in many areas.
Right, I agree. That's basically it. Because every single time it's Ubers, and then it's
LC.
yeah. So
And
like
then if you ban those two, then Osh doesn't really have another card to play. So
right. Yeah.
Little Lucky JN. Honestly, all I've heard is that they have solid fundamentals. I've pretty much just. I feel like they're more of a random. In BLT, they had pretty subpar performances, like going even or like slightly winning records, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I remember he beat SWB in
Yeah, Silver White
doubles.
Blue had a pretty bad, competent doubles player, which works for him, obviously. Other than that, honestly, I can't really say that is like a very good player. So I would say maybe ranked a little high.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's overrated as well.
Plus, you have Little Lucky Jayon.
I was on his TLT team as well, but I don't.
BLT, you mean?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Like 3 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
He played dubs. I think he went even.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like reaching.
Okay.
I haven't seen him play any other tier ever though.
Okay.
Not paying attention or like he wouldn't test with us. Well, because he just didn't know the tiers. Or like.
Okay, well, as far as I'm aware, like I remember, maybe I'm remembering things wrong, but I remember that in an OU tour I saw him bring Rain, which is pretty much the team that you bring if you don't know how to play the tier.
Noob, yeah.
Yeah, like for like ORAS NU, I won like a shit ton of tournaments because I just brought freaking Tennis Rain. Like it's a team that you don't need to know how to play the tier, but it's like if you have like decent fundamentals, then you can win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like. From my understanding, he just doesn't play that many other tiers, which is curious as to why he's ranked so high. Okay, so.
Oh, MJ. Okay, he's winning this entire team.
Yeah, I think MJ is definitely very good. Very, very solid fundamentals. I think. Another thing that he benefits from, I think he's really good at reading players, which is important because like at least for like there's like a good portion of players that like MJ actually knows well and he can get like a good read on in matchup. Like I think if MJ plays Osh, it's gonna be a 2-0 MJ. Like I don't think it's gonna be close. And I think I just think MJ is like really good at downloading players.
Fair.
So like for people who like he actually knows like Osh and myself and like I think MJ it would like smash me if we play.
MJ will pull the beat off card, not ban Ubers or else.
Yeah, I think he's just really good at downloading people, and his fundamentals are really good as well. So I think his rank is pretty deserved. He kind of like the thing is he couldn't really beat players like the tournament in general is really testing fundamentals, so it's really hard for me to say that you can beat someone with better fundamentals than you. So for other than like, unless your prep is better, but like generally, it's really hard for me to say that if you can. And MJ's prep is very good, so I think that's one thing that is also works for his favor. But like I think like the top players, MJ will likely struggle more against. So other than maybe him.
Who do you think in A is underrated and who's over?
In A.
Okay, so like
A plus, like the combination of the A's.
Yeah. I think. Well, I did bring up that I think like the Mohican and Little Lucky. I'm not really sure why they're there. I would say Ominous Draco should move up to A plus. And Parivard, like I think Parivard and Ominous Draco are on the same level as the people in A plus, and then Mysterious M maybe move down.
Yeah, I agree with basically the same thing. I think Mysterious M and Miyoka should not be in A plus. They could be like I agree that they should be in the A rank, but definitely not A plus. And Lil Lock, JN, and then Mohican definitely should move down. I don't really agree with Ominous. I don't agree like with Ominous Draco moving to A plus, but I definitely agree with Partyvert moving to A plus.
Okay, well, I think like in general, the top like the everyone from S to A, those are like a clear the S rank I think is perfectly clear. I think is there's a clear difference between the top 2 and then everyone else. And I think there's a clear difference between the top 7 and everyone else as well. And then
you can make an argument for top 8 as well. But yes, I agree.
Yeah. So okay, I'm just gonna exclude myself because I don't want to be like cocky or whatever. But yeah, top 7. I think like it's hard to say like top 7 or there's a pretty big difference. And then after that, I think okay, we can talk about the rest of the players in B plus. So FMG, really strong OU player. We mentioned him earlier, but once again he suffers. I don't know like so like out of the rest of the players like I know them less and less. So FMG, I have no idea how many like other tiers he plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you were talking about, he plays OU sound, UU alright, but then like what else?
Yeah, so like that kind of player, I would say like deserves B plus rank or maybe B, where it's like you know that they're good, but they are mainly focused on 2 tiers, and you don't like their fundamentals may be strong, but you don't know. So like Osh, FMG, those kind of players.
I heavily disagree with Neomon and Trade being placed at B plus. Neomon is very, very strong at NU, but I don't really know what else he's good at. And then Trade left Mons for a while, but he was solid before he left. But I don't really see him like as good as before, because in this games versus you that I know you guys just played like Ubers, he didn't play that well.
Yeah, I played him in Ubers. Honestly, he didn't make that good plays. He brought a team that obviously made it was based on fundamentals because it's HO, which is like the right decision. But not banning Ubers versus me is kind of weird because it's by far my best tier. So
right. Let's see what else. Exploding Daisies, I'm kind of iffy about because
they're a stall player.
He's good at OU. He's all right at UU, but I don't know what else he's like really amazing at. So like you're banning OU, UU every time against Exploding Daisies, and I feel like he spreads himself out too thin. So for me, FMG, Neomon, Exploding Daisies, and a Trade, they should all go down to B.
Okay, so I think FMG is ranked pretty correctly at B plus. Like I think players like
FMG's rank.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
FMG's rank. The only one that I might move down is like don't know anything about him.
Okay, so
plays like 3 tiers.
Yeah, basically what we said.
He plays NU. He's an MDL with us, so he plays a bit of LC and he gets good team. And then because it's close to NU.
Fair, yeah.
But like Ubers, OU, I don't think he knows anything about it.
Okay, another player that I think is kind of crowding B plus is Over Dragoon. I think his fundamentals are solid. Once again, I'm going to bring up the argument about him winning multiple cycles.
Ridiculous.
I think he's strong fundamentals. I actually think I don't know why the hell Rayquaza 1 is ranked down at D.
Yeah,
but I think him and Over Dragoon are probably similar, like from what I understand, because they have the fundamentals to win multiple different cycles, and they can do it. So that's pretty much the main thing. And like the big thing that I would say against them is that or as far as I know, they don't have tour experience, which is pretty important. Like I said at the beginning. Yeah.
In tours, I haven't seen it at all.
Yeah, exactly. So outside of tours room, like experience, like Smogon tours, having experience in that is pretty important because it's completely different from the tours room, like live tour experience.
Right.
Yeah. So briefly going down everyone else, I think Jordan's actually kind of underrated. I might even move him up to A minus. I think his fundamentals are like extremely good. His main problem would be meta knowledge. He has the tier like he has the fundamentals down. He has like the tour experience, but his meta knowledge for tiers may be lacking because he doesn't necessarily play all of the lower tiers anymore in SM, and he's been kind of like inactive lately. So that's the only thing I would hold against him.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
He plays the OU. He's an OU main now.
He's good.
Or like outside of OMs. He's actually really good at OU.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if I would move him up to A minus, but he definitely would be one of the more solid players in the B plus rank.
Okay, and then just going through everyone else, Villa very strong at UU. Probably.
I don't think he's good at much else.
Probably not that. He was an NU player before. I don't know if he still plays a lot of NU. And like kind of similar. I would rank the players in B plus. Strong fundamentals. Plaz, you're pretty similar. I would say like LC, you're strong, and then everything else, probably strong fundamentals.
Yeah,
so I don't
solid.
like.
For going against me with someone else, I'd ban LC and probably NU.
Yeah. So.
One of two.
Yeah, I mean, like LC is probably your strongest, and then you have strong fundamentals, and you can get teams and stuff. But then meta knowledge, and you have the towards experience as well, but mainly the meta knowledge part is the question mark.
I suck at the UU, and I'm gonna have to play that like every round unless I ban that against my opponent.
Who else did we not talk about? Blink Boy and Akiko Yosano, and PD.
Yeah, I don't really know who that is, but apparently they're a good Ubers player. So that's just what
I've heard is strong fundamentals and good at Ubers as well from MJ, a German player, I think, is what he said.
Oh, yeah.
His OU. Well, he played for us and got 2 wins being a sub for BLT.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like really well. He played like just sand level. Like he played ridiculously well.
Oh, okay.
In OU?
So
he went the 2 times he was subbed in.
Okay.
OU and Ubers, I guess, are the ones to look out for. I don't know that much, so I can't say.
Yeah.
Blink, I don't know.
Blink Boy, he's mainly an OU and PU player, if I remember correctly. But he's mainly a strong fundamental player. I don't know how good he would be in here because I don't know how active he has been in Mons recently because he wasn't in the last BLT, right?
What'd you say, sorry?
He wasn't in the last BLT, right?
Blink Boy?
Yeah. Or was he? I don't remember.
There was a guy named Big Boy, or maybe
Big Boy's here. He's different guy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he was.
Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah, and then PD, strong LC player.
I think he's underrated.
I think he's kind of underrated. Yeah, he has strong fundamentals. I think he's like similar to Osh actually. So I would rate him in the same tier as Osh if Osh would move down or PD move up. I think he makes really good plays and he has access to a lot of teams because of resources.
Right.
And definitely the tour experience. He's one of the most seasoned people in the tournament. So.
Round, I'd give him like. I put him like 9 or 10. Like he's the tiers to a decent extent.
9 or 10. Wow, that's actually really high. So.
Who?
Plaid said he would put PD at 9 or 10.
PD 9 or 10.
Which would be like high A minus.
PD over Mohican or Byron.
Yeah, I would probably put PD over Mohican as well.
I did too.
But that's more because of like I know him better. But anyway. D rank.
Really...
Big Boy, Luthier, the Cheese in One, London, King of Crimea, Le Subre, Tote, Snow Jinri, Neon Dash, Yomu at Poke, and Chloe. Okay, honestly, I think the lower tiers are completely fucking messed up because there's players like Bdov and Hell Rayquaza who I actually think are like a lot more like not that bad, and they're ranked really low. Players I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, so like,
And then,
they're like especially with King of Crimea. Like, I don't know if you guys know him well or not.
No, I think King of Crimea is
good.
definitely solid. I think he falls in the similar category as like FMG and like
I agree.
and like PD and those players that like I think he's really good at one tier, which is OU.
He's also solid at RU. I remember. I think he qualified for RUTL, so or RULT. So he beat who? Who did he beat?
The Snake players. They won at like 5-2 or whatever. Like beat Ajna and RU. And Ajna.
Oh, Ajna, yeah.
Top 5.
Yeah. Okay,
so he's a solid player. I think. People are.
Definitely overrated, underrated.
People are like not giving him the credit that he deserves. So that's what I think. I think he should be moved up.
And I think also the Cheesin one definitely should be moved up. I think.
I agree as well.
Definitely extremely strong fundamentals. Another doubles player. I think pretty much all the doubles players should just move like should be ranked higher just because they're a doubles player.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like kind of biased, but the fact that doubles players just have such a big advantage, I think, in this. And then looking at it, everyone else, I think it's pretty accurate rankings. Big Boy, Luthier, London. These type of players I think would be in B, as well as Lightning, Skilos, Rosie maybe, JR Smash. I think these guys, generally they're Tours players that are like relatively well known. They may have pretty good fundamentals, maybe mostly lacking in the Tours experience part is what I would say is like what defines B rank. As like you maybe you have strong fundamentals, but you can't move higher because you don't have the Tours experience.
Played each of them like once.
Yeah, like over Dragoon as well in this tier.
For keeping it, I think keeping it Icy should move up. I don't know if you guys have seen him play.
Yeah, I've seen him play.
He's a little better than B-.
I think I've seen him play. And then the other players, I have no idea who fucking like Toad and like Snow Jinri and Neon Dash are like, and I think Chloe is pretty much just doesn't know how to play non-AG tiers as far as I'm concerned. I've seen her play. It's like pretty average at best.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would probably move Chloe down. Yomu at Poke, honestly, I could see B rank, but B or B minus. Touched on Luthier, London.
Great at BSS, but that's not in this.
Yeah, BSS. Yeah, he's great at BSS. Everything else I've seen, pretty much just a stall player. So like you have to be a certain level to be able to beat this guy. But like,
if he can play like he does in BSS, stall teams 24/7, he'll be a threat. But
yeah, it's mainly about the tier, like the knowledge of tiers. Everything else
runs into anyone A rank and beats them, I'd be shocked.
Yeah,
Yumu?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it like especially at the top level, like only stall players are like really hard. Like it's hard to justify because like other players can prep for them so easily.
Right.
A lot of people here don't have results, which is one of the reasons why they go into this. They're like, hey, I can get in by winning tours, then I can.
Yeah, that's actually like a pretty good way to describe it. So like someone who doesn't really
name out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard to rank them because they're trying to get their name out there with this.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty accurate way to put it.
My opinion, this tour is going to be like who preps the most time and effort in. Yeah, main.
Yep.
Like I feel like upsets will happen if a top player gets lazy and just gets beaten people and a lower player in this case like preps their ass off and like asks people and like odds or voices to help them build or whatever.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so
right, moving on.
Okay, so there's a couple players I want to talk about, but for the rest of this, I'm just going to talk about the specific players because I don't really know that many of the rest of the players. So the players I want to talk about, You guys can bring up other ones.
Okay.
Lightning, Skelos, Rosie, JR Smash, B-Dov, and Hellrayquaza are the 6 I want to talk about in the rest of the list that we haven't touched
Okay.
on yet. What about you guys? Do you have anything?
Wait,
Anyone
could you
else?
say the list again, real quick?
Lightning, Rosie, Skelos, JR Smash, B-Dov, and Hellrayquaza.
Yeah, that's about it. Let's see who
He has
else.
good OU wins, but he doesn't really win. And it's I feel like Rosie and Daisies are similar in this. Like, I play them in multiple different like tier OUs and such. OUs. Old gen players rather than like Grand Slam players.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, no.
Rosie, strong fundamentals, but like mainly an OU player.
Right.
I think it's
Like-
kind of weird that Rosie got ranked so low compared to like other players that were like pretty similar to Rosie. So
Yeah, I kind of find it hard to believe that Rosie is on the same exact thing as people like Ars 9. So
Granted, the chores aren't in here, but like, you remember she went off for like he went off for like a week, or then he beat like ABR, TDK.
yeah,
somebody else.
yeah, he beat some pretty solid players. So
yeah, like he has good results.
mhm.
It's not in the tiers that we're playing.
Yeah, so like with Rosie, you're gonna be banning OU every time. So
Rosie, you ban OU and LC.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Other players, Lightning. I think. Oh, actually, let's talk about Hellrayquaza.
Okay.
Pretty much the main thing I wanted to just say is like I think it's really weird that he's ranked so low because I think he's pretty comparable to Over Dragoon.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit worse because the times that he won the cycle were generally like off
Off times. Yeah.
off times, yeah. But still, I think like being able to win a cycle and having that kind of stuff, it shows like two things to me. It shows to me that you have the dedication to be able to do this, and also it shows me that you have the fundamentals to be able to do it. So while towards him, yeah, like we may meme about it and say it doesn't really mean that much, like being able to win consistently in Torsium still shows that you have the fundamentals to be able to like know like how to win.
Yeah.
Which is like not true of like all of the players here. And another thing is that the dedication is important because being able to win takes a lot of time, and they obviously care a lot about this. So I would assume that they're going to put in like more time than most of the other like lower ranked players.
That many points. If you ladder that many points to get here, you can't. Like, my laddering was literally just like rules. I won like every single AAH or if it was direct rules and and then I played them an LC official. I did.
Yeah, so like, I mean, getting 250 points, it requires you to like be able to win like a lot of different tiers too.
Yeah, I only got like chose the ones that I knew that I'd have a good chance of winning. Didn't want to fail my fight. I'm fairly good.
Okay.
And I'm like, I didn't want to go in RU knowing that I wouldn't win. Like,
Yeah.
everything shows that he either wants the experience, confident in play style, and overall.
Okay, and then B-Dov, I would say solid fundamentals as well.
One player. He's winning this entire tour.
B-Dov actually just shoots up in the rankings because he did the upset against Trace, and
Yeah.
that's actually really big because, like I said before, I think Trace.
It wasn't even 3 games.
Yeah, it wasn't even 3 games. I think Trace is definitely like for me.
Now,
For me, Trace was the third best player, and the fact that he was able to win means a lot because it's really for me like I viewed this tour as it's really hard for lower ranked players to be able to upset the higher ranked players. Like the defined tiers, I think is very hard to upset like and have mobility in the tiers because of how like the fundamentals of the tour work. So being able to do that shows that B-Dov has something like that's worth looking at. Like maybe it's like the dark horse factor or something, because of the way that they play the game. But like
with B-Dov brings teams that like you literally cannot expect. Like what against Trace and RU, he didn't ban RU which is first of all, that's incredible to me. Second of all, she ended up bringing like three belly drummers, and then Trace had no way of dealing with them. So like for me, I think that Beat Off is either going to be a boom or a bust in every single match, because like either the weird unsets that no one predicts rolls in her favor, or just like falls short.
Yeah, so like I could see like Beat Off is kind of like me, I guess. They bring really weird sets.
Okay.
They bring really weird sets, and that's how they try to win the game. I would say it's a little bit different because I think I probably have better prep and that kind of stuff, but Beat Off definitely is like a dark horse because you can upset a lot of players and you can play on the fact that they don't know.
Right.
Like I play her all the time. It's just if she brings the random shit.
Yeah, like double scarfers, triple scarfers, like just bringing triple scarfers. Like I would never expect that. Like if someone reveals scarf on one mon, like I pretty much just assume that they aren't bringing double scarf.
That's the only scarfer. Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Where when you build triple scarf.
And so like that's a pretty big thing. Okay, so and then other than Beat Off, the other two players. Okay, yes. JR Smash 9. I think he's okay. So most people know him as a stall player. Like I talked about this a little bit on the week 1 matchups analysis, but he's actually, I know him well, and he knows how to play other matchups other than stall, and so he's most comfortable playing stall. Okay, also another thing I want to bring up is that I think pretty much anyone who plays stall should be ranked like at least B-, because like I'm sorry, but like there are players in this tour that like if you're below B-, that probably means that if your opponent is a stall player, you just don't know how to prep or don't know how to beat that stall, which is like like even if they're just like an average stall player. And I think JR Smash is a very good stall player, and he's like okay at other stuff, but like I think overall his fundamentals are pretty good, and people kind of underestimate that. And I think he's at like probably at least a B rank, if not maybe a B+.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's where the stall was ridiculous. And
all right. See, I don't know what he's saying.
Same.
So the last two players that I want to talk about, Skilos. Wait, did we talk about Skilos?
No.
Okay, so Skilos, hugely underrated, I think. Very, very good NU player, one of the best at the tournament for sure.
Oh, really? I was not aware of that.
I think, as far as I'm aware, he's probably like a top 3 or 4 NU player at the tournament.
Oh, okay.
I would rank him maybe under Ham, Neomon. I don't know how much, I don't know, under the players that I actually know, he's worse than Ham and, like, Neomon, as far as I'm aware. And then other than that, I actually don't know who else is better than him at NU.
Okay, so you're probably going to...
And then as an RU player as well, I mean, not RU, sorry, UU player, he's pretty solid. He played UU for my BLT team, and he played pretty well, so I would give him those 2 tiers. So I would rank him probably like a B or B+ as well, kind of similar to like Osh and those kind of players who don't really have don't go outside their main that much.
Okay.
And Lightning, okay, this is the one player that I actually think is really dangerous, that is really underrated. I would say Lightning is possibly even like an A-. I would go that far because I think their fundamentals are one of the strongest of the tournament. Their prep is one of the best at the tournament as well. The only thing is they don't have a specified main, so you don't like...
Apparently he's good at doubles, or that's his main.
Yeah, okay, so he's good.
Yeah.
Once again, doubles player means that draws doubles bans important. And also he's really good at just generally all the tiers. Like the only thing, like I would say he's similar to Jordan or whatever you want to call him, but
I just said Jordan, but
yeah, but like they don't have like a lot of meta knowledge, but extremely strong fundamentals. And then like maybe one tier that draws a ban. So I would say rank him in the same rank as Jordan, at like B+ or A-, wherever you want to rank them.
Okay.
So like that's my personal opinion on him.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't like everyone else who we didn't cover is basically around like either they don't prep or they're just not good, or they don't have like solid fundamentals. Oh, that's who I want to talk about, Sanjay.
Sanjay. Oh, he's actually in the tournament. I forgot.
Yeah, okay. Sanjay, I feel would be placed like A minus B plus. Like he's just overall solid player. Has tiering.
Yeah.
He's a tier contributor. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sanjay A minus B plus. I think that's pretty accurate. Very good NU player. Will draw the NU ban.
Yeah.
Pretty decent at UU/RU. Can play those tiers. Pretty good at OU as well.
Yep.
He's in the X category for a reason. It's hot dog.
Yeah, see, I don't like Blaze isn't in the tier, so I mean isn't in the tour, so like the fact that
I think they were just screwing around. I know Blaze like put me in X no balls or something, and yeah, that's basically what happened.
Okay,
but,
so
yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now the last thing.
What?
Say
about battles.
Your dark horse for the tournament. Your winner for the tournament. Your dark horse for the. Your top three for the. Oh wait, did we already go through this? Your top three for the tournament.
Okay.
Or top 3 or 4 for the tournament, and then your dark horse for the tournament, and that'll be it. But those two things.
All right, Plaz, you first.
First. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just waiting on you. You first.
Top 3 overall. Like, Ark and Ham are definitely up there.
Yeah.
One of the A pluses is already in losers.
They can still win the tournament though, so don't let that stop you.
I think. I feel like Over Dragoon's going to do well. No people are doubting him.
Yeah.
He really wants to prove himself with this.
Yeah.
So is Over Dragoon your dark horse?
And he's a really solid player.
Is that your third? Is he your third choice?
No. Wait, is Over Dragoon your dark horse?
Yeah, that's my dark horse.
Okay.
That's it. The Miyoka Park card. I'd probably put the winner of that for third.
Okay.
Miyoka versus
Paribard. Yeah, that's a pretty
Whoever
solid
wins
choice.
that, I think is gonna get 2 more games sets after.
Fair. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Depends on the brackets.
Yeah.
Which Natalie isn't revealing.
If there were brackets, we could say it is much easier. But
Yeah, like if there were like it'd be much easier to make a ranking because like you could actually say like which ones are very good and which ones are like based on like because of how hard the brackets are.
Right.
Okay. Anyway.
For me, I think top 2 easy Arkham. I think we've all come to that consensus. I think for 3 and 4, even though Trace is out, I think he's my 4th most likely to win, regardless of him being out. And my 3rd most likely to win would be Paribird. I don't think Miyoka is even that good in this type of format. So I think Paribird will pick up that win and then move on pretty steadily through the tournament. For me, my dark horse is actually PD. A lot of people, I don't even understand why he's in B+. He's just overall solid player, solid fundamentals. As long as a kid doesn't act like an idiot. What's up? But never mind. As long as he doesn't act like an idiot, sure, he's gonna be able to do well. Like, I know he likes to act stupid and stuff, but when he doesn't, he's gonna be drawing an LC ban every time, and that makes him and he's not as spread out as other players in my opinion. So or he's not spread out too thin. So I think he's overall good.
Okay, so I'll go.
he's a good player.
I would say my top 3 would be Ark, Ham, Trace pretty easily in my opinion. Still, even if Trace is in losers.
Mm-hmm.
And my 4th, I'd see I said Omnis Draco earlier. and I'll stick with that. I would say Omnis Draco 4th, and then Pari, Mioka 5th and 6th, and then maybe Mysterious M 7th, or like, yeah, probably Mysterious M 7th. And that would be my top 7. But for my dark horse of the tournament, I'm gonna have to go with Jordan. Jordan's okay. Well, I said Lightning in the other video, so I can't say the same thing again. I'm gonna say Jordan because Jordan has. I essentially like explained why, but I think he's pretty underrated, and he does like he's gonna draw the OU band for most of the time, and he has really strong fundamentals. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair.
Are there any closing thoughts that you guys want to say?
No, not really. Well, in addition to the dark horse, I wanted to talk about like a player to watch for. I know it sounds weird, but like I think the player to watch for is Beatov. Like you can't take her lightly. Like that's what Trace did. He brought just like casual sets, didn't like really do much. The thing with Beatov is like you can go like either way with and especially if she gets the luck she needs, then you're never gonna win, especially with unpredictable sets.
Just Pokemon though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Pokemon.
Fair. That's fair.
Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for joining me, Luthier and Plas. It's been pretty fun. I'll see you guys around, and thanks for watching.
Yep.